Hello, my name is Kurt, and today I will be talking about how you could use lucid dreams to benefit reality. Now, I don't know, I was kind of inspired today for some reason, and I just chose to discuss how lucid dreaming could benefit reality because a lot of people say, oh, why should I waste my time dreaming or learning to lucid dream if it has no benefit to reality and I'm just wasting my time and it's just for entertainment purposes and stuff like that. But, in my personal life, and I haven't read this in any books on lucid dreaming or anything, or I haven't really heard anybody discuss this before, and it's lucid dreaming really benefited me in my reality because lucid dreaming to me is obviously as realistic as real life. So whatever you want to do in real life, you could do in lucid dreaming, except you could actually do more in lucid dreams. You could go on dates with celebrities and you could, I don't know, you could be with Terrence McKenna in space talking about the evolution of psilocybin and stuff like that, and like how it's gonna evolve in the future and stuff. Like you could do like crazy stuff like that, or you could just do regular stuff, which is what I'm gonna be getting into right now. From my personal experience, I've used lucid dreaming to benefit me in many ways in reality. The first way that I want to explain is that I suck at math. Like, I am terrible at mathematics. I've failed it so many times in my life. I almost failed out of school because of math. I know it's stupid, and some of you are probably like, oh, but math's so easy, man. Like, to me, it's not easy. To me, like, I could do like alchemy experiments in my, free time, and like do like organic chemistry stuff and like do all that stuff and bypass the mathematics, and it's cool. But when it gets to the mathematic portion of anything, I suck. Whether it's algebra or calculus. Don't even talk to me about calculus because I don't know, it's like gibberish to me. So yeah, how did I use lucid dreaming to benefit me in math? Well, I basically would get into a lucid dream, and then obviously I would live out all my fantasies. Who doesn't want to go, on a date with Shakira, or I don't know, whoever else you fancy, Megan Fox or Emma Stone. But after I lived that out, I got that out of my system. And yes, I am in a park right now, so excuse me if I get distracted and look around because people are staring at me like I'm some kind of like alien recording his first experience on Earth or something. Like, it's funny, like people are strange sometimes. Like, what's wrong with somebody recording themselves in the park? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so I would get in a lucid dream, live out all my fantasies, and I would just try to accomplish things that I sucked at in real life. You could use this for many purposes. Like I said, I use it for math. So let me get into that first because I'm getting very sidetracked. But I would get into lucid dream, and then I would summon a notebook or whatever, and then I would start doing math problems and stuff and like figuring it out. And in my lucid dreams, like when I do stuff, it's as real as it is in real life, like I said before. So I would write out the problems and stuff. I would do all the algebra or whatever. Like, basically before I went to bed, I got out my math book and I just looked at problems I didn't understand and didn't know, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this in my lucid dream because I don't feel like doing it in reality because it's boring. And then people say, why the hell would you use lucid dreaming to do such boring things? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm wasting my time sleeping anyway, so to speak, so might as well convert it into something useful. So I would like put a math problem in the dream or whatever, and I would decipher it in the dream, and it would work just like in real life. I would work through it and whatever, and then I would figure it out, and then obviously when I would wake up, I would be like, oh, okay, now I know how to do this. Or at least I thought, right? So this is where it gets kind of crazy, you know. It's like, all right, I thought, you know, oh, maybe, you know, this whole lucid dreaming thing, whatever, like, it's all a bunch of, you know, imagination or whatever, and it's not really going to help me succeed in mathematics in real life, right? I have to do that actually physically, in person, whatever, to actually succeed at that. So what I did was I tried it, you know. I took out the math book, and then I tried some problems that I did in my dream, and I did it, you know. I did it way better than I did it before, you know, because I sucked at it before. So in my lucid dreams, I would practice, I would get it down, I would nail a couple of math tests, and then I would fail again. The problem with me is that, like, I could understand things, but it's like, I don't know, I'm just lazy. That's the truth of it. Like, I'm just lazy, you know? Like, I could be a math genius if I wanted to, but I just have no passion towards things I hate, and I hate math. So I don't feel like working on it to the degree where I'm like a math genius. I just want to work on it till, you know, till I could actually understand it, figure out in reality, and use it for whatever I have to, whether it's school or measuring things or whatever. So yeah, that's one example of what I did. And then you're probably saying like, oh, you know, that's pretty cool, you know, oh, so you learned a little math in your lucid dream, big deal, man. Well, there's a lot of different things. You know, I'm a guitarist, you know, I write stuff, I do a lot of things when it comes to the creative field. And what better way to practice your creative skills than lucid dreaming? It's already like a creative process of a mind as it is, because you're constructing your own reality. So I said, might as well practice guitar or whatever. And that's what people don't understand about me, you know, like a lot of people who hear me play or whatever, like I haven't posted like a video of me shredding or playing like really well in a long time, because I'm not really inspired to. Like I'm pretty much just uploading tracks of like simple stuff, like rhythm stuff, and like I don't feel like going all out there yet and like just shredding and stuff, you know what I mean? Like the laziness kicks into that too, you know. But yeah, like a lot of people were wondering, like, you know, especially people that I lived with, whether it was women or when friends saw me play or whatever, they're like, how the hell does he get so good when I never see him practice, you know? I practice like a regular human being. Like, you have to, whether you're practicing in lucid dreaming or you're practicing in reality, you're not going to get good at anything unless you put it into practice. So obviously I would practice in reality, but then like I would just go to sleep, and then I would like summon a scenario where, you know, I'm shredding with Eric Clapton and Jimmy Page and all the guitar legends, you know, like everybody, you know, people fancy, like Jimi Hendrix and stuff, and like it just brings a smile to my face, because, you know, probably like people who listen to this are gonna be like, this guy's like either completely nuts or he's living like the ultimate fantasy ever. And, you know, in life you gotta have fun, and in dreaming you have to have fun too, obviously. So that's what I do, man. If I have the opportunity to shred with Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't I? Like, why would you restrict yourself in the lucid dream world when you restrict yourself enough in reality? You know, in reality you have to follow what society says and like what people say and what people think of you or whatever. Well, your lucid dreaming world is your world. Do what you want, you know what I mean? So that's what I did. And like, obviously I would like summon in these guitar legends and stuff. I would summon in myself. I say summon, but it's not really summoning, it's just creating that in the lucid dream, or putting it forward, you know, manifesting it in the dream. That's what I'm talking about when I say summon. So I would do that, and I would shred, man. Just shred for like hours and hours in the dream. Obviously, that's probably not hours in reality, but it condenses to that when you wake up. Like, it's strange. So I would just shred in the dream. Then I would have these legendary guitarists like give me hints and tips or whatever, or like my mind projecting like these figures, so to speak, to give me tips when it's really my subconscious or whatever, like showing me things that I already knew or whatever, and like they're implementing that. Well, I'm implementing that into my own self. Like, it gets really complicated when I'm trying to explain this, because it's like you're dealing with too many things at one time. But yeah, that's how it was. And then I would practice riffs, practice certain guitar things in my dream, and then I would wake up. I would pick up my guitar shortly after. It didn't even matter, like a couple of hours after. There was no time limit, because it's like lucid dreaming. Like I said, it's like reality. So, you know, I felt like I shredded for 3 hours in my dream. So, like, it kind of incorporates that into reality, you know what I mean? So it's no rush. It's not like I'll forget the lucid dream or forget what I played in the lucid dream. So yeah, I would shred, and in the dream I would wake up, pick up my guitar, start shredding on the physical guitar in reality, and it would sound good, and everybody's all like, wow, man, I never see you practice. Like, you know, there's this other guys like, you know, I've been playing for like 8 years and I practice, you know, frequently and stuff, and it's like I can't play that stuff or whatever. And I say, just practice, man. Like, that's all it is. Like, that's all I could say. I'm not gonna say that, you know, you could become a master guitarist through lucid dreaming overnight. It's just, I'm trying to dismiss that mystery of what people thought about me before. Like, wow, this kid never practiced. He's probably some musical, you know, musical genius or something like that, or like he has like some kind of like mystical powers where he tunes into this and that, and like, no. it's just practice, you know. Like, maybe it's mystical in the sense that I'm using lucid dreaming to acquire such things, or that maybe gets into occultism, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, that's what I did. So that's another thing it benefited me in. And, you know, that's a big thing in my life. And, you know, you could get into this in so many different ways. Like, once you master lucid dreaming, it's like you could construct your own world and live it out, you know what I mean? So whatever your passion is, whatever your hobby, whatever you suck at, once you master lucid dreaming, get into that. Get into just, you know, becoming better at work, you know, becoming a better employee, you know, that could earn you more money in the real world, you know. Practice singing if that's what you like. Practice cooking, you know. Practice anything you desire in the physical realm. You could practice in this imaginary world of yours, obviously. So just think of stuff, practice it, and put it into play. That's it. And what else did I want to get into? The fact that lucid dreaming itself could have such a great impact on reality is also an interesting thing that scientists or whatever, philosophers, I don't know, should look into, you know. Like, maybe, you know, like, technically speaking, like, let's say somebody has some kind of like weird tendencies, like let's say they have an addiction of some sort, you know, or whatever. Like, I'm not talking about lucid dreaming, you know, in a sense that, oh, you know, it could only bring, you know, good things into your life, or it could fix the bad things too, like I said. So, like, let's say you have a drug addiction, or you have, I don't know, an infatuation with a woman that's not worth your time. You could go into a lucid dream and work it out there. Battle the addiction, battle the infatuation, you know? Like, with lucid dreaming is cool because it's like you can do things that you wouldn't be able to do in the physical realm. So for example, if you have a drug addiction, you could, like I said, I say summon all the time, but it's not summoning, it's just imagining that into your lucid dream. You could summon a heroin needle, or you could summon like something into your lucid dream that represents your drug addiction, or even a person or an object or whatever, and amplify it. Like summon in if you're addicted to coffee, summon in a coffee cup that's, you know, like 10 feet tall, and then in the lucid dream just say like, I'm tired of you, I don't need you in my life, whatever, and just like take your fist in the lucid dream and just punch the crap out of that coffee cup, you know what I mean? Like just smash it to pieces, watch the coffee fly everywhere, and just take out your hatred and take out that urge and take out that addiction in your lucid dream, whether it's smoking or whatever, you know, you have a nicotine addiction. Summon a huge cigarette and just beat the crap out of it, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't run my life. You know, your urges are crap. I don't need you. I am a powerful person, whatever. And then you can do it. You know, you can do it. That's what I think, at least. That's why I'm thinking like these scientists should like really analyze this stuff, or philosophers or whatever, and put it into play. You know, use it in 12-step programs. Use it in, you know, I sound like some kind of revolutionary person here, but I'm just trying to show people the benefits of lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming could be more beneficial than therapy could be, you know, like, because it allows you to play out all your fantasies, all your urges or whatever. Like, let's say we're talking about, you know, a serial killer or something like that, right? He has these unsatisfiable urges to murder people in reality, right? Well, that's not something you could actually work with in reality. You can't live that out in any way, because that's just wrong. Like, no. So instead of like you going to a therapist, like instead of like a therapist saying, oh, you know, this is wrong, whatever, like, I don't know how you could make a person lucid dream or whatever, but I'm thinking into the future here right now. Like, maybe there'll be like some kind of chemical or some kind of pill or whatever that will be able to induce lucid dreams like at will, pretty much. And if they, or even if, like, let's say it's a 12-step program in a drug addict thing, or Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever, they could teach people how to lucid dream. But then, like, then you could get into the aspect of like, if you're talking about an addict and an alcoholic or whatever, like, they don't have the willpower to quit whatever substance they're addicted to or whatever, then how will they have the willpower to learn how to lucid dream? You know what I mean? And yeah, it gets complicated like that too, but, you know, you're giving the person options. You're not just saying, okay, listen, you know, you're gonna be in this therapy program for, you know, a long time or whatever, until you learn your lesson or whatever, because lucid dreaming and anything like that could also develop willpower. You know, you could present the person with an option. You could say, okay, you know, there's this cool thing, you could be conscious in your dreaming and you could live out anything you want. You could drink as many bottles of booze, you could get as intoxicated as you want, and the cool thing is it'll feel as real as reality. But it isn't, you know. But that could also get counterproductive too, because if you know, you teach an addict how to lucid dream, and then, like, they don't want to lose their addiction, they'll just get into the lucid dream and, like, you know, conjure up you know, an infinite amount, like a river of beer, or like a waterfall of vodka, and just like bathe in it, and like imbibe as much alcoholic product as possible, you know what I mean? And that also gets counterproductive. See, this is where it gets a little complicated, but I'm just throwing out, you know, some new idea out there, you know what I mean, that could benefit people. Anything could benefit somebody, and it could harm somebody. Like, that's the truth. Everything is kind of two-sided. So like, my approach to it is these scientists or whatever, or these therapists, whatever, should, psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever, should incorporate some type of dreaming therapy or lucid dreaming approach into their whole regimen or whatever. Teach people how to lucid dream. I'm getting back to the serial killer situation, whatever. You have a serial killer, you know, he has unsatisfiable urges to murder people in reality. Obviously you can't do that. A therapist won't help much, you know, all these other things won't help much, but if you give them the ability to lucid dream, you know, like, technically speaking, it's better off if he's murdering people, you know, in the lucid dream realm of reality rather than in the physical realm of reality, you know what I mean? Like, personally, that's what I would prefer. If you know, if you had somebody that's like in that situation doing that type of stuff in a lucid dream setting than in a physical setting. And, you know, these are all crazy ideas, I know, but I was just so inspired today, so I decided to put it all on camera. And this video is probably way longer than I thought it would be, but I'm trying to get all those ideas out there, and I might as well continue, really, because if you got this far in the video, you might as well keep going, right? So let's say you delve deeper in this whole lucid dream thing, and then you know, it's like, how can I do such things or whatever, you know? Obviously, you have to learn how to master lucid dreaming first, and that's where it gets complicated. And this is where the part of, like, willpower comes in. And I was explaining, like, how can, you know, a person addicted to a substance have enough willpower to lucid dream, you know, if they don't have a willpower to quit a substance, you know? But, you know, like I said, it's something you gotta do. In life, you have to have willpower. You can't let anything control you. You can't let any other person have any control of you. You have to be the ruler of your own existence, just how you're the ruler of your own existence in the lucid dream portion of life, or whatever you want to call it, you know? You know, so if you struggle with problems in reality, you should not let them control you. You know, like, if you suck at ping pong, then get into a lucid dream and practice ping pong for hours upon hours, and then wake up and then practice ping pong hours upon hours in reality, and you'll get better at it faster. And then what do you know? You know, your inability to play ping pong is conquered. Same thing with addictions, like I was saying before. You're addicted to nicotine, or you're addicted to alcohol, and they have control over you. Battle out that addiction in the lucid dream, and it won't have control over you anymore, you know? You're done. That's a battle won. And another battle won in reality is a good thing, you know what I mean? So yeah, become the master of your life. And that's it. Like, I mean, even you could use lucid dreaming for like, you know, stupid things or whatever, but if it's something that's bothering you, and it's something on your mind, and it's something you need to get rid of, why not? You know, like, let's say you hate somebody, like, a lot, you know, like, just, you know, instead of beating them up in real life, or like stealing their lunch money, or, you know, becoming that bully that everybody hates and that ruins everybody's physical existence, like, you don't want to be that type of person. So just get it out of your system in lucid dreaming, because there's this mentality of the victim, and then there's the mentality of the bully, but they're both the same, you know, because the victim gets bullied, and then he gets pissed off, and he's like, oh, I want to do something back. I want revenge. I want to beat the crap out of that dude that stole my lunch money. And what happens? What happens after that? You become the bully, you know? You beat the crap out of the bully, like, in return, but what are you accomplishing? You're doing the same thing he did to you for no reason, you know? It's not gonna solve anything, really. You know, you could, vengeance, speaking of vengeance, like, I'm getting into so many things in these videos, but speaking of vengeance, like, you could just completely, I don't know. Getting revenge on the physical reality is not worth it, honestly, because it's gonna get you into more trouble than anything. You know, just move on and focus on bettering yourself. That's the best vengeance you could have upon your enemies. You know, become what you want to be. You want to be a poet, become a poet. You want to be, you don't want to be that alcoholic anymore that people always put down and say, oh, whatever. Or you don't want to be that smoker because your girlfriend doesn't like your tobacco breath and your raspy voice and stuffed up lungs. Then deal with it and move on. Deal with it, that addiction, let it go, and become a better person. That's it. Then you could attract as many hot babes, or when you're a female, you could attract as many guys or whatever as you want, obviously, because honestly speaking, like, I'm gonna get into a lot of things in this video, but like, a lot of people say, oh yeah, man, smoking's cool, drinking's cool, whatever, like, oh man, like, tripping out is awesome, and like, oh, I'm so much cooler than you because I tripped out last weekend and stuff like that. No. You're an idiot. You're allowing substances to rule over your existence. You're not living in reality. You're living a dream in reality. You're living a lucid dream in reality, technically speaking, which is completely beyond the point. Reality should be reality. Don't mess with that. Like, I'm not saying, you shouldn't ever drink, or you should never smoke, or you should never, dabble into like random crap, whatever. Like, everybody has their own life and their own, in the end of the day, and to some people, smoking may be a good thing. Some people, drinking may be, like a poet could drink and be inspired to write, a great poet about, the woman's breasts he saw at, the bar or something. Like, definitely some of these things could be, good, whatever, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Deal with it in a lucid sense of reality. Get drunk, like, in the lucid dream, do all that stuff in the lucid dream and bring that over into reality. That's it. Like, experience it, and it's not gonna hurt your physical body, whatever. You're not putting damaging chemicals, you're not messing with your brain chemistry, whatever. And that's what's important, because you don't want to be that dude or that gal that partied it up like hardcore when you were young in reality, and like you thought you were on top of the world, right? And then you get older, and then you start losing your memory and stuff, and then you're like, oh, I ruined my whole young existence because I was an idiot. There's so many stories about that stuff, and you just don't want to do that. Live it out in the lucid dream sense of reality. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are inspired enough to watch my videos and like watch them for like hours on end, which I really appreciate. I wouldn't be making my videos if nobody would be watching them, obviously. I appreciate every one of you, but it's like, I'm also getting into that, it's like, maybe I come off as not, like, in my videos I might come off as very extroverted and that I like talking and that I like conversing or whatever, but in reality I'm kind of like an introvert, like, I like talking to people sometimes or whatever, but I don't know, I'm just a weird person in general. So like, I'm also busy now and stuff, so like if I don't respond to comments or if I don't, you know, reply or whatever, it's not because I don't like you guys or I don't want to have conversations with you guys or whatever. It's just like I just like putting the information out there, and I like you guys just analyzing it, taking whatever you need from it, and just leaving some feedback, and I'll get into that, and then I could talk about it, whatever. But it's like, just understand that I'm another human being. I'm not some kind of, you know, I have my own life and stuff, and I have to make money and do all the crap that you gotta do on the physical realm of reality, and sometimes I might not get to comments or just stuff like that. So whenever I have time and I find the comment, you know, inspiring or whatever, like I'll definitely get around to it or whatever. But if you realize that I'm like some kind of a recluse and stuff, and like I just put out a video and then I just don't ever respond on it or whatever, like that's just the way I roll. Like I can't do anything about it. So like I'm sorry about that, but like I definitely encourage you guys to post comments, obviously, and like watch my videos and stuff, but just don't get, just what I'm trying to get at is don't get pissed off if I don't reply or whatever. Don't be like, oh, that guy's an asshole, man, like he makes all these like 2-hour long videos and he expects us to watch them, but like he won't even reply to us. Like that guy is so narcissistic and so self-centered that he only wants to, you know, project himself forward and doesn't want to make time for his viewers. Like it's not like that. It's just that, I don't know, I'm a strange person. That's it. I'm a strange ass person. Sorry for cursing. Well, I cursed earlier in this video, so that doesn't make any sense either. But I just like being an introvert sometimes, and I like being an extrovert. Like, it's so weird. Maybe some of you guys are like that too. So yeah, anyway, I've been ranting for way too long, and hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you got something out of it, and take care.